Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Great League, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Swampert. Swampert on a double flyer line. I think this is the best double flyer line you could run. And you could run a number of Pokemon on the lead, but we are rolling with Swampert. Non-Shadow, because I do like a bit of a challenge, my friends. But there is enough bulk on this team that would allow you to run Shadow Swampert, no problem. And speaking of bulk, flyer number one on the safe swap, none other than Noctowl, of course. Easily the number one or number two best flyer in the entire meta, and we all know why. Excellent coverage, excellent bulk, a monster. And also on this team, Altaria in the back, completing the ABB double flyer line. Altaria in the back can sweep a game. You want to draw out that steel or ice type with Noctowl, allowing Altaria to close the game strong. I gotta say, it's been a minute since I've used Swampert, and here we are today. I had a lot of fun with it. Couldn't quite bring myself to using the Shadow. That just feels a little dirty, if you know what I mean. But here we go. Deoxys lead, very neutral lead for us. You can just go straight Hydro Cannon. No need to build all the way up to that EQ. They will not shield. And you do need one or two plus a few mud shots to get this done here. They're going to go right for a Psycho Boost here, and I do anticipate they will throw another, so we will we will hold on to this energy. I had a few DD leads. They sort of meshed together, but for that one we were expecting a catch on our 4-cycle, and we held on to that energy, and they do make a play into an Umbreon. Excellent pairing with a Deoxys, as it does protect it from the ghost types. And we are in on this Umbreon with our Altaria here. Could have brought in Noctowl as well, but Altaria does have access to the Legacy Moonblast, which makes this a lot better for Altaria than it has been in the past. And they know that, so they are shielding. That is beautiful. We'll take a shield from an Umbreon any day of the week, my friends. And another foul play from an Umbreon does not KO us from this range. We know that we will be able to either do a lot of super effective damage here. It will not KO or grab that final shield. They do let that go, and we can't quite farm down, but that's fine. We could easily come back in with Swampert, expecting a snipe here with another Psycho Boost, so we will shield that. I was expecting it, and I'm fine giving up the shield because Deoxys does often have a dark type behind it. Could also have a normal type running a fighting type fast move like an Obstagoon, Vigoroth, or maybe even a Double. It just makes perfect sense in team building, and our team read was accurate. We do have a normal type running a fighting type fast move coming in the form of a Double, and we don't really need shields. Not likely they are running Wild Charge, as they definitely would want to have payback for the ghost type coverage here. Gonna fire off this Sky Attack. I thought that was a CMP. That's why that appeared to be awful timing, and it was awful timing, but it's okay. Umbreon's gonna pressure with a foul play. That's fine. It does not KO, and we get an extra wing attack out of the deal. We will take that and look to pressure the final shield on this Double here. They can tank this, and they do. They are fearing the spammy nature of Swampert, it seems, and they are forced to throw, or they were going to go down with energy and a shield, and that is never a good thing. This Double is absolutely loaded, but so are we. I do believe we live a payback, but I don't think they had a payback. They weren't quite there. We definitely live a Body Slam, and they go down to a Mud Shot. Swampert making easy work of that Double. One Mud Shot does the trick. Good game, well played to our opponent. Nothing like a good Swampert double flyer line to really rack up some wins in the Great League. I had a lot of fun with it, and here we go. Azumarill lead, pretty neutral lead here. The question is, what moveset are they running? Most Azus are running Ice Beam these days, with all of the flyers running Rampant. The question is, what's the second move? But it really doesn't matter because they can just go straight Ice Beam. So we are going to throw with proper timing here. Going for the EQ, you do need a couple of these to KO an Azu. They do shield out of caution. They didn't need to, even if it was a Sludge Wave. Azu definitely lives a sludge wave. And we're going to go for EQ number 2 here. I do imagine they let it go. They do. And now we will outpace to another EQ. So this is definitely worth a shield. Knowing that this Azu is running Ice Beam, it's a nightmare for our flyers. They know that as well. They knew that we would outpace, so they pivot into Sableye, and we had just the answer to a Sableye in the form of our Noctowl here. Now, I was reading that there could be another ghost type coming in the form of Trevenant in the back, and generally if you're making that sort of team read, you can safely bring in Altaria, and in fact you probably should, but we did react with Noctowl, and even if there is a Trevenant in the back, Altaria will do just fine up against it. But ideally, if you do see an Azu lead with a Sableye safe swap, you're going to want to bring Altaria in on it, just in case. And gonna go for the Sky Attack. Noctowl hanging on by a thread from that foul play. And there is a Trevenant in the back. They bring it in to get ahead on energy. And now we will bring in Altaria onto this Trevenant. Swampert's hanging on by a thread. Tried to catch a potential Shadow Ball onto Swampert. But our opponent shows excellent patience, hanging on, going for the Seed Bomb there. And getting it to dump energy was really nice. Gonna let this go. We do live one of whatever they throw, and they go foul play. Holy smokes, that is not something you see every day. My goodness. Foul play on Trevenant. That is very interesting. Likely for Noctowl. I'll tell you, Noctowl. People are getting desperate, guys. They have to have an answer to Noctowl in some form or fashion. But yeah, I think, that's a little extreme. Just run Shadow Ball and have coverage for Noctowl if you're going to run Trevenant. That's my opinion on it. Going for the Sky Attack, not quite KOing, but a double resist to Dragon Breath does the trick, and we will outpace this Trevenant to this Sky Attack. And Altaria doing what it does best, and that is close the game strong. We're saying bye-bye to the Trevenant, and Altaria putting the team on its back, closing the game in dominant fashion. Good game, well played. Tell you pair one of the best anti-steel types along with the two best flyers in the meta, something good's gonna come your way. And here we go. Speaking of anti-steel, we had a Dream Lead in the form of Stunfisk. They have a Medicham. And this Medicham got ahead by a couple of counters, so we do bring Noctowl in, and they built all the way up to Psychic. That means they're running Pup on this Medicham. No sensible Medicham trainer will build all the way up to a Psychic unless they are running Power Punch, which is unfortunate for them because they have no chance in this Noctowl matchup whatsoever because they are not running the optimal moveset on this Medicham. So they're forced just to go straight for Pup, and it is absolutely helpless. This is just another Power Punch. We don't know what the second move is, but it doesn't matter. All we need is back-to-back Sky Attacks. If they want to put up a fight and go down with the ship, they will likely shield this. If they don't, they will just let it go. And they are... Oh, this poor Medicham, absolutely helpless. That's why we had the back-to-back. We get to this Sky Attack. We're saying bye-bye to the Pup Medi. Winning switch with Noctowl, and they wanted no part of the rest of this team. Who knows what they had in the back, but it's a moot point. Good game, well played to them. Oh, just imagine if that poor Medicham had solid coverage against Noctowl, which is assuredly going to be on most teams, but they did not. But it's a moot point. We had a Stunfisk. They make a play into Sableye, and we had the Noctowl for the Sableye. I've been seeing a lot more Sableyes pop up behind Stunfisk, and that is beautiful to see because Sableye, the best safe swap in the game, in my humble opinion. I absolutely love it. And we do tank a return. They go right for the return, as they should. Does big damage, but we are still in the yellow, still very healthy. Gonna fire off the Sky Attack here, just as they're getting to another foul play. But they don't want to go down with that energy. They want to put up a fight, and that is absolutely fine. We do get that Wing Attack through, so we can absolutely shield up this foul play, and the Sableye will go down. Not worth shielding, I don't think, in my opinion. That's not flippable for Sableye, although Sableye does put in the work. They do bring back in the Stunfisk, and they have to throw a move. They do, of course, tank our Shadow Ball, as they absolutely can, but yeah, they are just overloading as much as they can, and then I do suspect that they will be throwing the Rock Slide once they get near 100 energy. That's the play that makes the most sense because you do want to have some loaded energy for the Swampert on our team that will undoubtedly come in onto this G-Fisk. We let this go. We know that they are very close to an EQ. I do believe that they are at 5, so we're going to have to catch this onto our flyer. Well, we didn't have to, but we didn't want to give up a shield, and it's so satisfying when you can catch that double resisted damage. You absolutely love to see it. And we will shield up this rock slide because I'm reading that they are weak to a flyer in the back. There could be a Metacham. But no, there's a Noctowl, so this is fine as well. Altaria does beautifully against Noctowl, even at a shield disadvantage. Just the Dragon Breath damage with stab is far too oppressive. And they do let the first Sky Attack go through. And we are going to throw Sky Attack number 2. They do live this, but it's not going to be fun for them. So I do expect the shield here, and we do get the shield. So now we know that they are at back-to-back. So we're going to let this go and bring in Swampert to force them to throw some energy. Swampert still super healthy, absolutely tanks a Sky Attack, no problem from this range. But we do have to be careful of a catch. It's getting a little close here. Noctowl is absolutely putting our opponent's team on its back. They don't go for a catch. We go for the Hydro Cannon, and we are saying bye-bye to the Noctowl, and we were just one off from another Hydro Cannon. Holy smokes. Swampert, the destroyer of worlds. We are saying bye-bye to the G-Fisk as well, and just like that, Swampert has absolutely taken over the game, leaving pure destruction in its wake. Good game, well played to our opponent. Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good time to lead Swampert these days. So many G-Fisk and Bastiodon leads, prepping for the A9 leads that we've been seeing a lot of, and we had one there. Same story, same story as last team. It looks like here had a G-Fisk lead, and they saved Swamp and Sableye, so we meet this with our Noctowl. Was seeing a lot of this team. I don't know if somebody made a video on it, but it was quite prevalent, and it was beautiful for our team. Winning lead always puts you that much further ahead in Pokemon Go Battle League. And we all know the story on this matchup. Sableye could put in the work, but it just falls a little bit short in the end. So we're going to shield this up, and it looks like they're just resigned to just going straight foul play, and that's fine. Going to let this one go, and we did trigger the CMP tie, so this will go through, and I don't imagine they shield this. It would be absolutely insane to give up a shield for this, and they do let it go. And we are still very healthy for that G-Fisk, but they bring in Azu, revealing their third. So this is very tricky. Very, 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 very tricky. Makes me wish I had brought in Altaria onto that Sableye. Not gonna lie, guys. Stunfisk and Azu, one of the 2 hardest checks to an Altaria in the entire meta. So we just decide to rip the band-aid off, seeing the win condition, potential win condition, lying with Swampert. Just gonna let all this go and just try and get as much chip damage in on this Azumarill here. Altaria is basically dead weight at this point. My goodness, at this point in the battle, I'm kicking myself for not bringing Altaria in, but I didn't imagine there would be a Azu in the back. Very interesting team, very balanced team from our opponent. So just going to let all this go and look to put the hope and faith into Swampert. We do have to let this go. I do believe an Earthquake will do a lot more damage to us than an Ice Beam from an Azumarill. And we're going to go for the Hydro Cannon here. We are not a Shadow, so this does not KO, but I'm hoping that we can get a Mud Shot or 2 out of the deal, putting us that much further ahead, and we do. And now, we're going to have to bait, because they have to be fearful of an EQ here. And I was thinking, even if they were very brave and let this go, and they do, that we could perhaps let through whatever this is. I do believe it is a rock slide, and get to 2 Hydro Cannons to close this out. It's going to be super close, but we lag and they take us out. My goodness. Oh, I was so angry after that battle. Should have just gone EQ, but good game, well played to them. Man, that last one really left a bad taste in my mouth, but we press on. Here we go. I've seen a lot of DD leads. Looks like Triple Counter is back in fashion in the Great League, and if you run a team like this, you're going to be doing just fine. This is a very neutral matchup, slightly positive for Swampert. The play for them generally is to go for a Psycho Boost, but they're looking to go back-to-back, so we catch this onto Noctowl. I'm reading triple counter, guys, and when you've got two tanky flyers lurking in the back, you have no fear of a triple counter team, let me tell you. And it's looking like my team read is accurate. Once again, we see a Vigoroth here onto our Noctowl. Gonna go for that Sky Attack, and this Vigoroth is absolutely loading up for days. Holy smokes. Gonna let this go. We do live another Body Slam from this health range. We are about as tanky as it gets, and gonna go for a Sky Attack here. And either look to flip switch or take a shield from our opponent here. We're not too concerned with switch, that's fine. Gonna come in with Swampert, and we lose CMP tie to the Vigoroth. Gonna let this Body Slam go. I'm reading triple counter, and Altaria up a shield. Runs right through triple counter, no problem. Gonna just look to get rid of this pesky Vigoroth. Terrorizing our existence here. We say bye-bye to the Vig, and expecting that DD to come in and immediately throw a Psycho Boost. They do not immediately throw, so we're going to look to just get rid of this here with a Hydro Cannon. I don't think it will quite KO, because again, we're not a Shadow. It does not, so we snipe them, and we deny them all of that energy they were trying to load up, and there it is. It is triple counter, confirmed. We've got the Obstagoon in the back. This, of course, is the classic variation of the triple counter line, and they are running the awful Community Day move of Obstruct, so it is that much worse for them. It doesn't matter. They can raise their defense and lower ours all they want. It will not help them one bit. That's why you do not run Obstruct until Niantic comes to their senses and fixes that move. Fix that move. And it's Cross Chop, holy smokes. They are running Obstruct, Cross Chop. Oh my goodness, and they see that it is not going to happen as they do top left. Good game, well played to our opponent. Oh man, guys, I'm telling you, it's a good time to run a good double flyer line. You just have to have a good steal answer, and we do in the form of Swampert. Had a Basti, that's the dream lead right there. They make a play into a meta jam, so Basti with Medi in the back. If they're running my recommendation, they will be running the right moveset, and they will have a Trevenant in the back, but there was a team that was floating around pretty prevalent last season that grew a cult-like following with a Pup Medi and a Leaf Tornado, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Vic. And that's what it's looking to be here, because under no circumstance would I ever recommend this moveset. We do have to shield up a boosted Psychic, but that is fine. Swampert does not need a shield against Basti, and if my team read is accurate, Altaria does not need a shield advantage up against a potential Shadow Vic. We do take out the Pup Medi, and they do bring back in the Bastiodon right on cue. We will be able to get off one Shadow Ball at a good health range. If you throw with optimal timing, you will be able to get off 3 Shadow Balls if you have good IVs on your Noctowl, but that's fine. Gonna let this go. Of course, it is all resisted coming from Bastiodon. Swampert is the worst matchup for a Bastiodon in the entire meta outside of maybe a fighter. Gonna go for the Hydro Cannon. That's all you really need. You don't need that massive double super effective EQ, and they are starting to shield, so that's fine. It is useless. They are just wasting their shields here. There's nothing this Bastiodon can do. They're double shielding the Basti up against the Swampert. That is absolutely wild to see. We don't need to shield this, but we might as well. I'm reading there's a Shadow Vic in the back, and there is. They do get one of those nasty Razor Leaf through, but we do leave the matchup intact somewhat, and we just farm this thing all the way down. This thing can do nothing to Altaria. They do go Leaf Tornado there, so this is that weird team from last season. It's fine. Altaria's got some heavy lifting to do, though, I will say, because it was getting a little sweaty at this point, I will admit. Because if this Basti will leave with a move, we get the attack drop from the Moonblast. That is amazing, and we get to Moonblast number 2, throwing with absolute atrocious timing, but we don't need it because we were saying bye-bye to the Basti, courtesy of Altaria, of all things. Holy smokes. Altaria is a Basti counter confirmed. Good game, well played to our opponent. Be honest, guys. How many times have you seen an Altaria finish off a Basti, guys? That was insane, but here we go. Another DD lead. I told you guys they were out in full force today. I've been seeing a lot of them. And if you see a DD lead, you can expect at least one normal type, maybe even a dark type or two normal types in the back. Just makes perfect sense because those two typings protect DD from the ghost types. And we are going to fire off another hydro cannon here, and they let it go. That's beautiful. So we will shield up the first Psycho Boost. That's going to do the most damage. And I do believe we catch the second one, or tried to, but they were onto us. We both simul swap, and here it is. A double. So it's looking more and more like the modernized version of triple counter, which employs a double and an Obstagoon. The classic variation, of course, is Vigoroth and Obstagoon behind the DD, but we did not have double available when the Great Wallower created this team, but we do now, so that's why we're seeing it. Going for a Sky Attack here, and gonna look to flip switch, but they are putting up a real fight here, and that's fine. If you're going up against triple counter with this team, you don't need switch advantage because Altaria demolishes the entire team. We will just go for this next Sky Attack and either pressure that final shield or flip switch with our Noctowl, and we grab the shield advantage. That is fine. We'll take that all day, no problem. Tried to catch that body slam, but we couldn't quite pull that off. That's fine. Gonna let this go. Soak this damage as this double is absolutely loaded, and look to go for the farm down. We can let this go. It's just a body slam, not going to do a whole lot of damage to Altaria. And that DD is hanging on by a thread. They don't make it to a Thunderbolt, and now Altaria is primed to lay waste to that team. They top left, likely having a Obstagoon, which had no chance against Altaria. Good game, well played to them. Oh, Swampert with these two powerful flyers in the back was 100% putting in the work. And here we go, another Azu lead, very neutral lead. We do ultimately outpace, so we just like to build up to 10 here because just in case they're running Hydro Pump, you get to, if you go to 10, that's 20 turns. It takes 21 turns to go for a Hydro Pump, so that is proper timing. And even if this is a Hydro Pump, we do tank it. But if they're running Ice Beam, as most are, it would make sense just to go straight Ice Beam. But they're running Play Rough. Good on them. You do need that for the mirror matchup. And we are just going to fire off another EQ here and look to win lead up against this Azu. They are not having that. They're throwing up a shield on Azumarill. That is insane. Not going to shield Swampert. Going to put the hope and faith into our two very tanky and powerful flyers in the back. Just going to bring Noctowl in here to finish off this Azumarill. I was a bit nervous, guys, letting that happen because I've been seeing a lot of Registeels behind Azumarill these days. So I was a bit nervous, but we do have the shield advantage. That's why I was okay with that. And my goodness, I was right to be nervous. They do have a Registeel in the back, but we do have the shield advantage, and Noctowl up a shield actually does quite well against Registeel. That's the power of Noctowl in the Great League. You love to see it. They do let our first Shadow Ball go through. We're going to absolutely shield up this Zap Cannon, and if we get the debuff, we're bailing into Altaria. We got that debuff. We're going into Altaria to clear that debuff. And Altaria can also put in work up against Registeel under the right circumstances. At the end of the day, Zap Cannons do hit us for neutral damage, so it's not doing nearly as much as it would to a Noctowl, and holy smokes. They've got a darn Skarmory in the back, holy smokes, this is looking ridiculously impossible, guys, holy smokes, but we are up to the task. Going for the Moonblast attack drop, we don't get it, and we lose CMP tied to the Sky Attack. Oh man, guys, this is getting sweaty. Gonna let this go, put the hope and faith into Noctowl. We are very close to a Shadow Ball, just gonna throw with optimal timing and hopefully try our very best to deny them the potential Brave Bird. That's the play for them. We say bye-bye to the Skarmory, holy smokes. I thought for sure they would shield that to grab our final shield, and they did not, and I think that sealed the deal for them because Noctowl just outpaces at this point. This Registeel can do nothing from here on out, guys. We have a shield. We shield this, and even if they lower our attack again, it's still not going to help them. That's the power of Noctowl. Insane, guys. We get to this Shadow Ball, and my goodness. Two powerful Steel types, and our Flyers take the game. We say bye-bye to the Registeel, and my goodness. Holy smokes. What a way to end the video. My goodness. My goodness, that's all I can say. That was insane. Impossible odds. We were able to pull that off, my goodness. Good game, well played to our opponent. That is the team, as we can see here, my friends. Swampert double flyer, still very good, as there are a lot of steel-type leads running rampant in the Great League in response to the overusage of Alola Ninetale on the lead, along with two ground types in the back. The team is running all over the place, and people are prepping for it by leading steel, so I said, hey, gonna run Swampert double flyer. I think that's the way to go. And as we can see, you pair it with the two best flyers in the game, and the winds will pour in and come your way. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.